funny thing. In a way, I feel like I had three mothers. There was the scientist, intelligent, hardworking, never around to say goodnight. Then there was my mother, strict, overbearing, wouldn't let me watch TV until I was 12, but would always put notes in my lunchbox. Then there's her, the woman. I don't know her. She never showed herself to me or anyone. I wonder if she even remembers what she's like. It's a funny thing. I remember building sandcastles with her. I remember digging the moat as she formed the base, slowly building it higher and higher, shaping it into our kingdom, only to watch the waves take it all away. I remember jumping on the trampoline with her for hours on hours. I remember her erasing her own graduation video so that we could make crappy stop-motion shorts on her camera. I never thanked her for it. I never thanked her for anything. And now I only see her on mandated holidays. All we talk about is office politics, superannuation, real estate. And I know it's naive. I know it's childish. But I miss her. I miss everyone I once knew. I miss riding bikes with friends, pretending we were in a zombie apocalypse. I miss passing secret notes in class. Miss party bags at birthdays. Miss hide and seek. I miss paper airplane arguments. What happened to the wonders of sleepovers? That indescribable moment when you and your friends got tired, even though it was only like 10 p.m., and that one friend put on a horror movie you pretended didn't scare you. You put on a brave face but hid underneath the blankets when they weren't looking. Friends' parents had already gone to bed, so try to keep your voices down as that one friend kept running around naked, and the other kept interrogating you on your crush. And only once you surrendered a name, only when they were satisfied with the confession, did you form a circle of sleeping bags. That one weird friend brushed his teeth, the other fell asleep instantly. Then there was that friend, that one heroic soul, that braved the cold to turn off the light. And in that moment, in that eye blink of a moment, where all the light vanished and the rest of the world fell away, swallowed by a vast ocean of black, all the anxiety, all the fear, all the noise, silenced by darkness. Your eyes wide awake to see the dream state. Nothing but you and the disembodied voices of your once recognizable friends throwing words into the ether. The joy of complete, incoherent thought as you created worlds of pure, unfiltered imagination. Words weren't bullets, they were building blocks. The freedom of collective play. Maybe that's why we drink. Need a socially acceptable excuse to act the fool, to return to the chaos of childhood. Free of judgment, free of shame, free to speak in tongues, to dance, to laugh, to sing, to embrace. Trade dollars for rocks. Why did every school have a rock economy? It's a funny thing. Did the amoeba ever dream of consciousness? Did it ever dream of one day touching the sky? Of conquering mountains? Of medical miracles? Of listening to the heartbeat of a lover? Of watching a child grow into their own? Of volunteering for strangers? Of eulogizing the dead? Time's a funny thing. The one constant in a sea of endless variables. We struggle against the waves, struggle to conquer and tame the unknown. But the unbearable truth we cannot accept. Time doesn't care about us. Time doesn't pause for us. Time doesn't pity our sorrows. No matter how hard we kick and scream, time erodes everything it touches. Soon my body will betray me. My cells will mutate anew. My consciousness will vanish and the memories I cherish will fade into the abyss. Soon I will wake up and see a stranger in the mirror. Life's the world's greatest party with no kick-ons, so don't sip that beer like you got somewhere better to be. Make sure to take the litter out every few days, just if it smells or anything. Hope you've gotten the pipes fixed. I mean, that was, when we were there last time, that was a bit of a problem. Don't worry about anything that's going on. It's all fine. I hope your birthday's been alright. It's been a while, and yeah, I don't know. John, fairly standard Christian name, lacking some inspiration though. The age gives it a slight exoticism. John, an unobtrusive name, could easily slip under the radar, but make an impact. Isn't that the goal? Avoid the spotlight but pull the strings and reap the rewards? Only if you're tall enough. Everyone mocks a short millionaire. ID would be a lot more effective if it listed height and weight. Couldn't hurt to list dick size, the amount of cold cases that could be solved, the amount of arguments that could be won by flaunting your dick size. John seems fit, seem healthy, probably a balanced diet ticking all the food groups. Maybe good genetics? Probably both. Probably got his job through his parents. I don't blame him, needs every advantage to get ahead. John probably has a hot girlfriend. She doesn't need to wear any makeup. She's that hot. John still forces her though, inadvertently in his sympathy, always going to award ceremonies, cocktail parties, weddings. John parades her around like a trophy, a zoo animal, a circus freak. Compliments are the admission fee. John's oblivious to the hours of work that maintains the perfection that only propels his career, not hers. He chose well, he won the best bloodline. She sacrifices everything. Family, income, career, spirituality, philosophy, politics, a loss of passion for her childhood dreams. She annihilates herself, all to feel less alone, because no one will love her for her. No one will support her. No one will hold her. No one will remember her. He never says thank you, never says she doesn't have to do it, never listens to her, not truly, never listens to words between the words. He always refers to her as her, even though her Tinder profile said non-binary. Wonder what she looks like naked. I'm pathetic. My gums bleed when I brush my teeth. I have to repeat myself at the drive-thru. I use thesaurus.com. I don't thank the bus driver. I'm pathetic. I lie to my therapist so they'll worry about me. No one cares about me. No one worries about me. No one will attend my funeral, not even my therapist. Someone had to be picked last. Always was the case. Always will be the case. Always last. Always an afterthought. Always a pity obligation. I offer nothing. I'm not a leader. I'm not an inventor. I'm not reliable. I'm not funny. I take up precious oxygen. I'm a waste of flesh. John seems like the upper management type. Guess it's all the jawline. Stronger the jawline, stronger the position. Basic math, higher position, higher wage, more opportunities, more connections, more people, better life. I'm not complaining, I'm privileged, I recognize that. I make $35 an hour. Could always be worse. 10% savings, 10% spending, 80% bills. That's comfortable equation of life. Cheapest rental is $170. That's $24 a day. 10 for transport, 15 for lunch, 5 for coffee, 30 for antidepressant, 20 for iron, 10 for detergent, 5 for soap, 6 for toothpaste, 8 for deodorant, 20 for dinner, 40 for streaming, 6 for Wi-Fi, and any loose change after that goes straight to the wicker basket. John's always outdoing himself. He always pays and pays confidently, making a spectacle of it, never letting silence linger. He always has something to say, always an insightful observation, always constructive, always doing, always moving. I feel guilty for taking a day's rest, feel guilty for relaxing. I can never relax anymore, even have to jerk off to workout videos. I've never been overseas. I'll go on a big trip when I'm 40, save all my leave, and buy a motorcycle to travel the world. I can't ride a motorcycle. I don't like motorcycles. John probably loves them. Of course he loves them. Probably owns a condo in every tourist hotspot. Balcony views overlooking the beauty of anywhere but here. Caring for the world is hard. I wish I had the courage. I wish I had the strength. But I like my heated blanket. I like being warm. I like being comfortable. I know my need to be coddled is burning the atmosphere, uprooting sacred trees, killing endangered animals. But is it so bad to be comfortable for 1 second? John probably wakes up with the sun, has the power to maintain a military-grade regimen. He's the modern-day Ubermensch. I need others to schedule my day, to tell me when to get up, to tell me what to eat, what to wear, what train to catch, what forms to fill out, what spreadsheets to edit. When I go home, what to watch, when to fall asleep. Life was better when baby sat. Everything chugged along like Mussolini's train. Without autonomy, without conscious thought. It was peace. You can't write a story in 500 words. No good story, nonetheless. You have to obscure, to imply implications. Baby shoes never worn my ass. The reader is doing all of the legwork. The reader is the one that writes the story, not Hemingway. 500 words. You can't flesh out the plot, the world, the characters. A thing will simply be a thing, nothing to it. No substance, no impact. Can never go wrong with a cat and mouse chase. Everyone does cat and mouse chases. It's too predictable, too safe. It has to be surprising. A page-turner keeps you on the edge of your seat. A horror? Home invasion? Serial killer on the loose? Can't just be that. It needs twists and turns. Subversion is all the rage. Take a convention and flip it. It's easy. Conventions are idiotic. They're limiting and formulaic. Who even came up with conventions anyway? Cigar-smoking suits that know nothing about good stories, know nothing about good art? It's marketing. Easy means of categorization. Specifics found in universality is just projection. A blank smiley face is infinitely more relatable to lobotomized brainlets over a detailed portrait. I need to walk. Inspiration in the infinite misery of being. Just write a postmodernist critique of, well, anything, really. People love to see the mechanics, the process, the magician explaining the trick. You can't even tell a story anymore. It has to be a story of a story. It has to be a story about struggling to make a story. Wrap it up in a proclaimed satire and terminally online prophets will gargle it down. Postmodernism is nothing more than a futile attempt at self-mythologization, disguised under the thin veil of grandiose deconstruction. It's easy to deconstruct. Easy to observe through the window and through the grass to the blank canvas beneath. But nothing is gained, nothing is learnt, nothing is achieved. A self-perpetuating Ouroboros of comfort. It's hard to create. It's hard to actually try. What's the advice? Write what you know? Bullshit. To proclaim you know anything is blatant god complex. You think Stephen King interrogated a giant space turtle? How did he write that sewer scene, huh? Research all you want, but history is written by the victors. A biased bastardization of reality, spoon-feeding an agenda. To write reality, to paint reality, to photograph reality, it requires no creativity. That's not art, that's translating. People need to see themselves like art is some kind of mirror, but they need to see themselves with approval. The selfish lies of silver screen representation. Narcissus wasn't this narcissistic, I only want to see me, but only my good side, only my values, only my limited perspective, only my oh-so-horrible existence. The ironic pursuit of realism corroded by the need to create a fantasy. It's a 5th grade philosophy to note that everyone wears a mask. So how can we depict reality if everyone's lying? Social realism is torture porn of the working class. What's the value of portraying the struggles of the working class to the working class? Everyone wants catharsis, escapism from self-imposed mundanity, the perverted voyeurism of power fantasy, perpetuating the belief of the astronomical improbability of atoms forming a being, birthing the delusion that you matter, you're important, you're special. It's all one giant cosmic supermarket. Everyone's shopping for a discounted answer. Preachers skim poorly translated Bibles, shrinks peruse the ever-expanding DSM-5, wine mums drown in the self-help diatribes, philosophers are the worst parasites, pretending to contemplate the incoherent ramblings of 18th century French lunatics, picking and choosing the less cancelable claims like history is a buffet dessert trolley. Academics invented $10 words to pay off failed degrees, self-congratulating circle jerking, justifying the freight train hurling towards the inevitable of a poorly chosen career path. No one reads essays, no one sits down with friends and family to debate if existence precedes essence. It's word vomit to meet a quota, no different to an officer fining an innocent taxpayer. Poetry is just pathetically obfuscated oxymorons held together by a weak alliteration, a cowardly abstract abjection of prose to hide from the miserable truth that they can't form a coherent thought. But no, it's the highest of literary art. Discourse is dead. The Library of Babel was burning from the start. Barthes was right. We killed the author. We gleefully slaughtered him in cold blood. Bradbury literally wrote Fahrenheit 451 as a pro-censorship novel, but it doesn't matter. None of it matters. We recognize that Wormwood translates to Chernobyl, but we're too apathetic to care. Too self-obsessed with our own misery to hear the bugles. The judges are surely academics. Just shovel 500 $10 words down their throats about how life is meaningless, and meaninglessness is life. That's worth more than a voucher. That's worth $5,000. $5,000 for providing no real insight, no real observations, no real anything, just words on a page.